Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here, and we are back in the realm of, the ruins of Wrath, but in the Shattered Realm. And currently, it is September 9th. Shout out to a gentleman on Twitter, Stray5163. It's STR3Y55163. I'll link him below. Definitely give him some props for finding this and showing it to me. But I wanted to show you guys the fact that we've got access. You can actually complete every triumph for the chests in this location. So if you're looking to knock them all out while it's here this week, I'm going to show you everything I can. One of them is class specific, at least to my Titan for now, because it uses Thunder Crash. There are potentially other ways to get across. We'll investigate those a little bit. But a couple things. So we've got one, you've got this tower. We're going to be able to reach that one. I want to do a little bit of a rehash of the little barrier breach run that I did in my previous run. There's an easier way. A lot of you guys pointed that one out in the comments. I'm going to show you guys a little easier jump on the outside so you don't have to do the crazy stuff on the inside. You know, once we extend barrier breach, the one I showed you is probably how you're supposed to do it, but people have figured out other ways. I'm going to mention these portals a couple of times because I'll point them out where we go in kind of a secret space. And then there's a place we're not supposed to get to yet, but you actually can, and I'll show you kind of all the distinctions about it. So let's start with just the refresh of this barrier breach run over here to the side. And you're going to need to go up top anyway, so you may as well knock this out. So you'll notice I was basically right at the entrance to the finale. I've cleared both beacons, and if you go to where the, final boss would be, in the kind of basically inside the hive ship, that's where I was standing. I ran down this pathway to the left, and I'm headed up inside this little building area. So when you're up in here, now, I do have the True Sight extended. I also have the barrier breach that turns me invisible, which isn't going to do too much. And I also have Safe Passage, but I don't think Safe Patch is going to do too much in this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take True Sight, which you have right here. But instead of going to grab barrier breach down below, running up like I did, barely squeaking through there by like a second, just take True Sight. And if you come outside, jump over here to this rock here. Jump up on this one. Jump up here. These aren't like difficult jumps at all. Jump right up here. And up top. And here is your chest. This is one of the enigmatic chests. So if you haven't got it yet, had some issues, this is a much easier way to get to it. I've already picked it up before, so I forget exactly the title of that one. And then also, if you hadn't been up here before, there's an anchor that sits right up there. So you can jump down. Remember, you need to do this quickly because if the True Sight runs out, platforms go away as well. So if you're looking for the anchor, make sure you grab the anchor quick, and the chest, make sure you do those together. So from here, where this chest was sitting in the middle, we're going to turn left, and we're going to scale these rocks. As I said, I have decent mobility, but I don't think this is like difficult to do. Jump up here. Even if you're just struggling, it's not hard to scale up these rocks. Now we're on this kind of upper level, and we're going to head towards this, and you can actually see the anchor floating way out there. Now, I'm going to show you guys with Thunder Crash how I get over there. I don't know if hunters and warlocks have certain ways that they can float over. Now, remember, this thing can actually create platforms. So, if you're able to, like, shoot this thing on a wall and create something to stand on, theoretically, between that and some stasis grenades, you might be able to make it partway over, and then if you can shoot this thing and stand on it, you can see how long that thing stays there. You could possibly build yourself a little staircase to get up here. Shout out to Stray5163. Pointed that one out as well. It's not the optimal way to do it. You might want to make sure you have as much grenade launcher ammo as possible. But in theory, you could probably scale yourself up a decent way, or at least run and jump across to like one of those platforms if you can't get like an increased elevation of where you are, and then potentially work your way up from there. So this is another alternative. This is the Salvation's Grip. It's from Beyond Light. It's really the only weapon that actually shoots stasis. But you can make little platforms that you could climb up. But I'm going to get across there with Thunder Crash right now. Again, Thunder Crash should be able to take it. The thing about Thunder Crash, you're going to want to wiggle a little bit back and forth to let your height kind of climb. So I'm going to start from kind of back here, get a little bit of elevation. Right about here, I'm going to jump, get my double jump about as high as I can. And then from here, I'm going to like wiggle myself back and forth to get as much height as I can. Should come in here, and you're also going to be greeted by that guy. Now, so we've got a chest up top here. We've also got True Sight. I'm going to grab True Sight and actually progress up. So first thing I'm going to grab is this chest. This is just a trivial mystery. This is going to be the Spire's Reach. So this is in the Warbinger's Tower. Then we're going to grab True Sight. Come up here. Grab the anchor while we're going up. And then we will come up to the top. Now, once again, we have these little... They look like little fire pit looking things. There's a couple of them around the map. And again, I don't know if they're specifically going to do anything for now. I don't know if they need to be lit on fire. I don't know exactly what it is. But there's a couple of them around, and the fact that you can get up here and there's one that just sits up here seems like they're going to be a thing. Like, they're going to need to be lit somehow around the map. Not entirely sure how. From here, what we're going to do, and I want to point this out so you guys can see, you've got the big gate here, and I'll go down there and show you that one. You've also got what looks to be like a gate over here on this platform, which can't really get over there yet. That one is way too far. And I think there's even another gate. Yep, there's one. I don't have a great angle on it. There's one over there that you guys can see way over there. And all the exploring, I pointed them out before, but that is definitely... I think there's going to be some type of teleportation between, like, different platforms that you probably aren't supposed to, like, super to, that you're likely to be able to get to in a normal fashion. So... we're going to head back down. Easiest way to do that as a Titan, just basically do your melee slam and fall. I almost whiffed. Now, one thing I do want to point out just for the shape. See this portal? This thing's activated when you're like spawning the enemies. But when I take us where we're going next, remember this portal because this shape is going to be important in a couple places. Now, one other thing to remember is if you... think about where we are, where I'm standing about right now. And it's actually probably down that way. But what you're going to be doing is going very, very far down underneath. So, easiest way to get there. I just wanted to show you guys kind of point of reference. I think it's either under here or something. I don't know how we're going to get there later, but I'll show you guys. If you come back to Beacon 1, just where you basically started the clear. Okay, so from Beacon 1, sorry about the cut, got a little lost. Turn left, and if you kind of go between these two little structures here, don't worry about the true sight, you don't need it, and you come over to this little, like, weird-looking busted rock. Right about here, look down, you'll see a little ledge that you can land on. Land carefully and slow. And then from here, what you're going to do is crouch, come underneath, just kind of slowly work your way under. And then... you'll jump up here. Now, you can see there's a whole bunch of stuff going down. And wherever this thing connects is where we're actually going to theoretically go down. Basically, it's like one of those things in Pit of Heresy that we had to fall through previously. And somewhere there's a barrier wall. There's probably a teleporter that we can get to. I can't quite figure out where the entrance actually is. But we are definitely going to have to fall down through that one and then get to the bottom. But you can actually get to it through the outside. So, if you look down and you can see this little orange-looking area here... if you look at the outer ring of the room, right about here, I can hit it with my fusion rifle, same. All of this area right here is what you're trying to land on. So, again, decent mobility. If you got any jumping exotics, get a good run. Just a normal jump, let it fall. And then however your class works best, just to try and catch yourself and land here. Once you land here, you just want to come over to this little baby corner and just trying to fall over the edge just a bit. Once you're down here, you will have some enemies down here, so eventually we're probably supposed to get down here. And I'll tell you where all the other stuff I was pointing out is actually at. Alright, that should be just about everything. So, if you come back here, and you look down, we'll eventually be headed down there, but don't go down yet. Grab this anchor that's back here. Got ourselves another one. We've got a barrier breach and also a safe passage. Now, it's not required, but if you want to move fast, this will probably help. What's in there are these little totems that if you get near them, it kind of starts a timer that will cause them to explode. So if you want to move fast, what you can do is go right here, suppress the field of strife. And again, this isn't required. You could do it with just waiting. Grab barrier breach, run through the barrier. Now, once you run by each one of these totems, you're going to start the timer. Safe passage isn't required. Grab the chest. And this is the one that's Harrowed Hall. And if you come back through, you need to move fairly quickly. Because if you hang in here too long, these are all going to explode and kill you. You only have about that long, and you'll wait, and they will all explode in there. So back off. There they go. You can see I must not have been close enough to that one, but the rest of them just exploded. And that's what they do. We have one more piece down here. We also have True Sight. There's a couple little platforms here. But also if you turn around, there's a baby platform here, and there's also just a chest up in the middle. Grab this one. That is also an enigmatic, no, that's a trivial, sorry, called the Deep. And what you'll do is you'll look up and you'll see the way up there at the top. This looks like one of those things in Pit of Heresy. These things you got to time your fall through, and you're going to probably have to do that. I've jumped all the way up there. You can actually scale these things. I basically thunder crashed up there and kind of jumped my way up the edges. There's a barrier breach wall up there. Still not entirely sure how to get to the entrance to the barrier wall, but I did make it to the top, but you guys don't need to see that in the video. But for now, that's everything we've got for here. Now we're going to actually jump down. Let this one fall, and you're going to come back here, and you're going to find this anchor in the back. And remember me talking about that big teleport structure? That looked very familiar from those things up on the upper level. Somehow this is either probably going to be the return teleport to get back to the surface, because once you're down here, you don't get to come back out. There are going to be a few more adds. If they spawn or not is kind of a question. It seems really weird that they don't seem to spawn. But you'll come in here and you'll notice we've got another one of these immune walls. So we'll be headed that way at some point once we get our new exotic for the season. You can suppress the Field of Strife if you choose to. And you've also got the barrier breach, which basically just lets us underneath and lets us also get a barrier breach under here. Again, I'm not entirely sure why there's both of these, besides there's something behind there that we're going to need to go through. But this is the Undercroft, and this is somewhere we're not really supposed to be yet. So whatever this little, like, you know, throne chair is, this is basically as low down in this level as we're supposed to go. And now the fact that we're at the bottom, the only way to get back up is to have that little teleporter turned on, which some action, somehow later on we're going to be able to turn that on. But for now, this is still off. But that is it for this one. That is basically going to be everything you need for the Triumph. So if there's anything you missed, you go into Rune's Wrath, you got a Harrowed Hall, you got the Deep, you got Spire's Reach, and that is everything right here for trivial wayfinding for Wrath. Now, there may be an enigmatic chest somewhere, but this is everything for trivial wayfinding for, again, Ruins of Wrath. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Normally I don't do secrets like this, but this one actually doesn't seem too game-breaking in the grand scheme of things. If you don't have Thunder Crash, don't have a Titan, don't have a way to do this at this point, don't worry, we're going to be able to get there in a normal fashion, probably in future weeks. But if you did enjoy a video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you've got questions. I'm going to be streaming this afternoon the PlayStation Showcase. We'll have the TWAB come out. It'll probably be a little light, just some stuff about Trials. And then also tonight we've got the podcast, The Last Word. It's going to be right here on the YouTube channel. That one's going to be 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. So come sit around the campfire with Ty Guy Travis and Lord Cognito and myself as we talk about everything going on this week. Have a good one. Destiny is 7 years old today. Thank you guys for the support. As I said, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Helps my videos make it to you. If you guys want to support me directly, you can either do it right here on YouTube by hitting that join button. You can find me on my Patreon as well. If you want to find me on Twitter, is at Ebontis, and then over on twitch.tv/Ebontis as well. Thank you very much. Have a good one, and I'll be seeing a lot more of you guys. I'll tell you why soon. Have a good one.